Hey y'all, Data Guy here. And today I am back with another viewer request video, this time all around Airflow 3.0 React plugins. So with the move from Airflow 2 to Airflow 3.0, you have an entirely new paradigm for how you are going to add plugins into an Airflow environment. No longer is it just a single plugin type. You actually have now a set of different plugin components. You have external views, which are adding additional Airflow UI views in different locations if you want to take Airflow and embed it somewhere else. You have React apps, which is adding any kind of React application into the Airflow UI. So as I showed last week, showing how to add Snake actually to the UI, which is pretty cool. And then you also have macros, which are basically predefined templates and functions that can be used in Jinja templates in templatable fields of your operators. You can also make fast API apps, so new additional API endpoints for your Airflow environment to use. And really just opens up a lot of new functionality to Airflow. But I wanted to show you how easy it is to do all these different options, add all these different types of plugins, because now with the new plugin system being React-based instead of Flask, it is a lot easier to add these plugins. So that's what I'm going to show you how to do, show you how to add this Wikipedia plugin and quite a few more. So without further ado, let's switch over to the code and get into it. So the first thing I'm going to do here is just create a new directory. So cd desktop, and then data guy apps, and then make directory react plugins af, cd into there. And then what we'll do is run astro dev init and just create a new blank Airflow directory. And now we'll go open that up. So go open up our new React plugins directory. And here we just have a blank Airflow repository that we can start using to adding plugins. And so the first type of plugin we are going to add is going to be an external view, right? So this is where I want to add an external view to my Airflow environment in different locations. So you can point this, this view to be an existing website, or it could be something you create in a fast API app that's registered alongside external view at the same time. So if you have an API endpoint that you want to then also pipe that result out back in the UI, you can do that too. But what I'm going to do first is show you how you can add a plugin for adding the Wikipedia view. So to add a plugin, all we have to do is go to our plugins folder here and just create a new Python file. So this first one was called wiki external view.py. And then here, the code we're going to add is the Airflow Plugins Manager plugin class. And then we're going to extend this, give it a name, Wikipedia external view, and then give a name, Wikipedia search, reference main page, destination DAG, and a URL route just to Wikipedia search. And so then what we do is we can save this. And then all we need to do is run astro dev start from within this repository, and now we can build this and start it up locally. So give it a second build and I'll show you what it looks like in the UI. So now in the Airflow UI, if you're using just the default Airflow external view plugin here, we'll go to our example DAG, and then you'll notice, if actually, let me fix the window here, you'll see we now have this additional tab, which is under example astronauts, under the DAG view where we have Wikipedia search. And this is just pulling up the Wikipedia homepage, nothing super fancy, but really just want to show off how a basic external view plugin works. So if you add an external view, this is by default going to go to or if you have the destination DAG, there's also other locations to put in, but this one for DAG, we'll put it in the DAG details view. So you can have other things like, hey, if you want to have this in the admin view or page, if you want to have it in the task view, different options for where you want to put it. But I just put the destination as DAG just to show off a basic one. So now, next what we'll do is add an actual kind of React application. So here we'll do it in the same exact place as where we added our Wikipedia external view. But this time what we'll do is just create a new file, and it's just best practices to always create a new file for each plugin you create. We'll call this one new React view or plugin.py. And here what we're going to do is just create a simple React plugin that is basically just going to keep a tab of how many times we're going to click a button within the UI. So here we have a path. We're just importing some path, fast API, plugins manager for the API, fast API. And so we can actually have an API where we can pull and receive data from. We're going to call this just simple React app, give it a plugin directory, which is just the parent directory of this folder, so the plugins folder. And here we're going to get my app JavaScript, and then here, we'll have basically our React component, which is going to be the app we're going to add to JavaScript, my app.javascript. And then here we have a simple React app where it's just going to embed a simple React component within the Airflow UI. So component URL, again, just where this is going to be. And then here we have our simple React plugin is just a very simple React app, which is just, again, just adding all these to a single class and creating our React app path for Airflow to use. Then what we'll do is add a React app called myapp.js. So now here I just had Claude whip me up a very simple app, which is just going to literally have a plugin that just lets me click it, and then is going to display a counter of how many times I've clicked it and tell me how many if I've clicked the button or not. So really not that complex. Just want to make something simple that anyone can use, just to show how easy it is to integrate the plugin. And so what I'm going to need to do next is actually restart my environment. So every time you add a new plugin or make any changes to your plugins, you're going to need to restart the environment for them to take effect. So I'm just going to run astro dev restart here, and then this is going to stop and then restart my project. So catch it back in a second when it's restarted. So now going back into my UI here, I can go to browse, and you'll see I have my React example plugin here. And now I've had an unexpected error, so let me figure out what went wrong there. So Claude got a little too fancy. I just had to remove the React DOM component, and now have our click counter, where now I can click, 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 and you see it will then appear a number here. And you'll see it is in the browse window or drop-down menu here. You can, similarly to the external view, also choose where you want to put this, just by going into your new React plugin, and then choosing your destination. So I put it in the nav bar. If you just want to have it in the top level nav bar, you don't put it in a category. But this is how you can add a quick, simple React to really app really wherever you want within Airflow. And then there are actually two more types of plugins that are a little less cool to show, but they are also really great in functionality. So the first one is, let's say you want to add a new, templatable field to your, DAG, your macros, where you want to say, hey, I want to reference this as a macro, and call that function, call something. So here, if I call macro.py, you'll see I'm going to create a new Airflow plugin, and I'm going to define month start, where I'm basically just going to define a function that's going to get the current date time and then get the current or the first day of the month of whatever the current month is. So here we have a very simple plugin where it's just going to macros equals month start. So just call macro plugin example. And then the way we can use this in a DAG is if we just do test macro.py DAG, and then we create a new DAG file that is going to be just have it referenced like so. So here we have just bash operator, and then print, just have a task print hello. And what this is going to do is then you see macros, macro plugin example, the name of it, and then month start. And then what this is going to do is then get us the first day of the month, and echo that back into the logs. So just a way similar to the DBT, you have macros. Now you have macros in Airflow, so if you want to have little functions that you can call and customize, obviously the definition of for use across your DAGs, this is a really great way to implement those. Now the next thing we can do is also add in a plugin that customizes the API. So let's call this new Python file new API endpoint.py. And then what we'll do is create a new Airflow plugin, import the fast API package, and here we're going to create a new fast API app, which is just going to be hello world, and we're going to create this at the /hello endpoint, which is just going to say hello from Airflow, have a class fast API plugin, and then name there just hello fast API plugin. URL prefix is just going to be Airflow, so the app, then hello app, and name there. And so what we can do is then just save this, and then if we open up terminal and restart this app, so astro dev or astro restart the Airflow environment, give it a second, and then I'll show you we can call this and get a little hello back. So now if we go and just type in curl localhost 8080 hello app hello, you'll see we now have hello from Airflow. So a cool little custom API endpoint. Obviously silly example, but you can get it for getting any kind of information really you want to get from Airflow from a customized API endpoint. So those are all the different types of plugins that are now available in Airflow 3.1. I hope you enjoy this. I hope this helps you visualize and figure out how to implement your own plugin and make Airflow work exactly how you want it. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Data Guy out.